The Dark Ages were a time of immense suffering, and few things captured this better than the famines that swept through Europe. When crops failed and resources dwindled, starvation wasn't just a possibility, it was a daily reality for millions. In today's video, we'll uncover the grim story of famine and starvation during the Dark Ages and how it shaped the lives of those who lived through it. Famine during the Dark Ages had many causes, often beyond human control. Harsh winters, prolonged droughts, and heavy rains could wipe out entire harvests. Pests like locusts and rats compounded the problem, destroying what little food remained. Add to this the constant wars, which burned fields, slaughtered livestock, and displaced entire communities, and it's easy to see why famine was such a common and devastating force. One of the most infamous famines in medieval history was the Great Famine of 1315 to 1317. It began with relentless rainfall that ruined crops across Europe and led to widespread starvation. Desperate people resorted to eating tree bark roots, and even animals considered taboo, like dogs and cats. There were even reports of cannibalism in some areas, a chilling reminder of just how dire the situation was. Famine didn't just kill, it destabilized entire societies. Starving peasants fled their villages in search of food, leaving fields untended and further exacerbating the crisis. The social fabric began to unravel. Theft, violence, and lawlessness increased as people fought over scraps of food. The bonds of community were often broken, replaced by desperation and survival instincts. Even those who survived famine often succumbed to its aftermath. Malnutrition weakened immune systems, making people more vulnerable to diseases like dysentery, typhus, and pneumonia. Entire families could be wiped out not by starvation itself, but by the sickness that followed in its wake. During times of famine, the church often stepped in as a source of aid. Monasteries distributed food and offered shelter, but their resources were limited and couldn't meet the overwhelming demand. However, the church also used famine to reinforce its authority, framing it as divine punishment for humanity's sins and urging repentance as the only way to end the suffering. To survive, communities turned to desperate measures. Foraging for wild plants and hunting small game became vital skills. Some villages implemented strict rationing to stretch their limited supplies. Survival often depended on ingenuity and luck, but even these measures couldn't prevent the devastating toll of widespread famine. The recurring famines of the Dark Ages left deep scars on society, but also paved the way for change. Over time, agricultural innovations like crop rotation and improved tools helped reduce the impact of future famines. Still, the memory of those dark years lingered, serving as a stark reminder of humanity's fragility in the face of nature's wrath. Famine and starvation during the Dark Ages highlight the precariousness of life in that era. It's hard to imagine a world where a single failed harvest could mean death for an entire village. But these struggles also showcase human resilience, the ability to adapt, innovate, and persevere in the face of unimaginable hardship. Thank you for joining me on this journey through one of the darkest aspects of the Dark Ages. What surprised or shocked you most about famine during this time? Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more historical explorations. Until next time, stay curious and stay grateful for what we have today.